In this video, we bring you 3 noteworthy updates on the West Australian bikie world, from events that have occurred in the past week. These include the latest on a high-ranking Rebels bikie, the highly anticipated bikie murder trial, and updates on a notorious Comanchero member who never ceases to surprise with his legal troubles. The first update is on former Rebels bikie boss Karl Labbrook, who has been sentenced to 14 months imprisonment, with a minimum serving period of 7 months, after being caught with over $400,000 in cash disguised as Christmas gifts. Labbrook was arrested just before Christmas 2022, alongside Kelly Krve, a member of the Krve racing clan and a close associate of Labbrook's then partner. The cash, found in Labbrook's car in Krve's house, was wrapped in the same Christmas paper. Krve was then sentenced to a year in jail, serving 6 months. Labbrook's sentencing was delayed for the birth of his child. He was taken into custody wearing a black suit and a bright yellow tie, signaling his alleged shift from the Rebels to the Comanchero MC. It was also disclosed that Labbrook has a serious heart condition and a history of drug use. In the court, Labbrook claimed that the cash was legal money from legal sources such as motorbike sales, membership fee, and fundraisers. Labbrook also accused former Rebels state president Nick Martin of stealing club money, which led to internal conflicts and the departure of the Rockingham City chapter to the Mongols. Martin was later assassinated in 2020. The prosecution maintained that Labbrook had control over the cash found, which was stored in vacuum-sealed bags. After several hearings and technical glitches, the trial has finally concluded with Labbrook's defense failing miserably, resulting in his sentencing. With Labbrook switched to the Comanchero's MC, police are bracing for possible retaliation from his former club and closely monitoring how many Rebels bikies have already followed or will follow him. A recent social media photo showed that the WA chapter of the Comancheros has quickly grown in strength. Labbrook signaled his defection by wearing Comanchero colors to his last court appearance, a bold move that followed the mass resignation of Rebels bikies. This exodus was driven by dissatisfaction with their Sydney leadership during a conflict with the Mongols. After 25 years with the Rebels, Labbrook left, feeling unsupported by the national president. Several WA rebels have already joined the Comancheros, who are being cautious about recruiting jailed members and require new recruits to serve as nominees before earning a patch. The Comanchero numbers are rising not only in Western Australia but also in other states, as the club embarks on a mass recruitment drive to build up their ranks. This surge in membership is part of a broader strategy to consolidate power and expand their influence across the country. The Comancheros are not just gaining numbers, they're actively strengthening their presence in key territories, positioning themselves as a dominant force in the Australian underworld. This aggressive expansion has law enforcement on high alert, anticipating potential conflicts and power struggles as the club continues to grow. With their growing presence in WA, the balance of power in the Australian underworld is shifting, and authorities are on high alert for any ensuing conflicts. The next update is on the highly anticipated murder trial of David Pye, who is accused of orchestrating the murder of Rebels bikie boss Nick Martin in 2020. It is being reported by the West Australian that the trial may face even more significant delays as Pye's defence barrister, Peter Morrissey, has withdrawn for personal reasons, necessitating a search for a new senior barrister. This means that the trial, which was initially set to begin in October, could be postponed. The murder of Nick Martin, a former Rebels bikie boss, occurred on December 12, 2020, at the Perth Motorplex. Martin was shot sniper-style from a distance of over 300 meters during a crowded event. The shooter, a 34-year-old former soldier, meticulously planned the assassination, even conducting surveillance with a drone and testing his rifle in isolated areas. On the night of the murder, he donned a camouflage suit, snuck into the venue, and fired a single fatal shot that hit Martin in the chest and wounded Martin's son-in-law Ricky Chapman. The gunman was later arrested and sentenced to 20 years in prison after cooperating with authorities and agreeing to testify against David Pye, a Comanchero bikie alleged to have orchestrated and financed the hit. Pye reportedly offered $150,000 for Martin's assassination due to a feud stemming from Martin's defection from the Rebels to the Mongols and later the Comancheros. The shooter received a reduced sentence in exchange for his cooperation and faces ongoing personal risk due to his involvement in the case. David Pye also faces charges of plotting to kill another bikie, Ray Chili, who according to last reports is possibly hiding in Thailand. Both the defense and prosecution have requested a judge-alone trial due to extensive media coverage and concerns over potential jury bias and safety. The sniper is expected to testify about the motive behind the hit, citing bad blood and fear of Pi, who defected from the rebels to the Mongols and then the Comancheros. A ruling on whether the trial will proceed without a jury is expected by mid-August. Besides this, another issue relating to the case is currently before the court involving an autobiography. The sniper who confessed to killing bikie boss Nick Martin wrote it in prison. This document or the book is with police officers. Pi's lawyers, having recently discovered its existence, are seeking access, but a legal dispute over its confidentiality is ongoing. The defense is primarily focused on the disclosure of evidence, including this document, as they believe it could contain crucial information for the trial. The manuscript likely delves into the sniper's background, motivations, and detailed accounts of his involvement in the assassination plot. It may provide insight into his interactions with Pi, including any agreements or payments made for the hit. It could also document the sniper's perspective on the planning and execution of Martin's murder, such as his surveillance operations, use of a drone for surveillance, and the final moments leading up to the killing. Additionally, the manuscript might shed light on the sniper's thoughts and feelings about his actions, his relationship with other bikies, and any further plans he discussed with Pi, including the unexecuted hit on another bikie leader, Ray Chili. The document could also contain reflections on his arrest, trial, and time in prison, offering a comprehensive narrative that may influence the outcome of Pi's trial. Pi's defense team hopes that accessing the manuscript will provide them with new angles to argue their case, potentially revealing inconsistencies or additional details that could challenge the prosecution's narrative. As the legal battle over the document continues, it remains a key piece of evidence that could impact the trial's proceedings and its final verdict. The final update is about notorious senior comanchero bikie Anthony Krve, who was out on bail for major drug charges, but now faces new allegations of trying to collect $160,000 drug debt as part of a plan to escape Australia. Arrested in 2023 for conspiring to possess a large quantity of drugs, Krve was initially granted bail based on claims of focusing on family and business. However, new charges claim that he and his associate, Krve, threatened a man over a debt, demanding cash and a car, and possibly planning a firebombing. Police claim these actions were recorded, on chats and conversation tapped. Both men are now back in custody, with Krve's lawyer arguing the new charges are weak, while Krve's lawyer describes them as bizarre. The court will revisit the case later in 2024. Bikies were accused of conspiring to possess a substantial amount of narcotics, including 30 kilograms of MDMA and 5 kilograms of cocaine. These comanchero bikies pick some wild aliases for their encrypted chats on the app Threema, like The Witness, Crimstar, and Django to discuss drug dealings. While officers decoded their imaginative code names and busted their plan, they had to give full marks for creativity, because it felt like reading a crime movie script in real life. If you're looking for more thrilling and edgy bikie updates, don't hesitate, whack that subscribe button, spread and share the video, hit that like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And for the true grid Spartans out there, consider sending a super thanks or buy us a coffee to show some love. Your support keeps us going and the channel thriving, especially since most of our videos aren't monetized due to all the crime-related content. Stay tuned, stay curious, stay awesome, and take care. Wu-Tang.